Welcome back, everybody, to CrimePod Castle Unsolved Mystery Series. You know what we're doing today, right?
Episode 67.
You got it, episode 67. And today we are going deep into a case that's, it's perplexing and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
We're talking about the disappearance of Karan Singh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, picture this. A young, successful IT professional in Jodhpur, India, vanishes without a trace. Back in 2018.
Wow.
No ransom demands, no signs of struggle, just silence.
Silence.
So what happened to Karan? I mean, was it voluntary? Was it foul play? Or was it something even weirder than that?
Something we can't even imagine.
Exactly. That's what we're here to figure out.
I think with this one, what gets you right away is that it's such a contrast. You have this seemingly ordinary life, and then all of a sudden, poof, gone.
Right.
And it's not like we're dealing with someone who lived on the edge of society.
Right.
Or was involved in something, kind of risky or shady. Yeah. This was a rising star. In his company.
Right.
Recently promoted, and get this, planning a trip abroad. Like, by all accounts, everything was looking up.
The guy had a future.
Exactly.
And you're right. That's what is so strange about this case. I mean, everything I was reading about him, 29 years old.
Yeah.
Reliable, optimistic.
Right.
Close to his family.
Right.
For him to just disappear like that, it's almost like he stepped into thin air.
Exactly. And this is where the investigation really starts to heat up, because the last time anyone saw Karan was June 15th, 2018, 7:00 p.m., leaving his office. They have him on security cameras.
Okay.
Walking to his car. And that's it. The trail ends there.
Gone.
He never made it home that night.
Wow.
And his family, they started worrying, right away. Missed calls, didn't show up for dinner.
So out of character for him.
Completely. And then, boom, the next morning, abandoned car.
Where?
So it's found on a highway about 20 kilometers from his house. And the car is locked, phone's missing, wallet's missing. It's like something out of a movie.
He really is.
But there's this one detail. Okay, you ready for this?
Oh, yeah?
Unfinished note inside the car. And it just says, I need to track.
Like he was cut off.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's almost like he's right there whispering to us.
Like a breadcrumb.
Giving us a clue.
Yeah.
Like he was about to do something.
Yeah.
Or planning something. But what was it?
Exactly. Was it a confession?
Right. Was he going to meet someone?
Was he in trouble?
Or in danger?
And the fact that it's unfinished, it makes it that much creepier.
Like he was interrupted.
Yeah.
Or something stopped him.
Right in his tracks.
Mid-sentence.
It's like he vanished mid-thought.
Right. And to add to all of this, the police are investigating.
Right.
They find some interesting stuff. Witnesses say they saw the car parked on the highway late that night, but nobody saw Karan. And there were no reports of like weird sounds or any disturbances, nothing.
And the security footage. Okay, so there is footage of him leaving work.
Okay.
But there are no cameras on that road where they find the car.
Oh, so there's a gap.
Big time.
So we don't know what happened between him leaving work and the car ending up on that highway.
It's like he drove into a black hole.
But they did find something in the car. Something that makes you think this isn't a normal missing persons case.
What's that?
Fingerprints.
Okay.
And they weren't his.
Oh, boy. This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Because now we know someone else was in that car, or at least touched it. And now you got to think, okay, was there foul play here? Was he forced out of the car?
Right.
Did someone else drive it there? And if so, who and why?
And here's another thing. This whole social media angle. Before he disappeared, Karan, he was getting these threatening messages from someone, we don't know who,
Right.
and we don't know what the messages said.
Okay.
But this just makes it even more unnerving, right?
Absolutely. It's like you take this whole situation, you toss in another curveball, and it's like, okay, were these messages just somebody messing with him?
Yeah.
Or was it something more serious?
Was it a warning? Like somebody was really after him?
Exactly. It's like we're looking at this map, right?
Yeah.
And there's all these different roads, and we don't know which one to take.
Right.
I mean, each clue, like that note, the fingerprints, the threats, it's like they all point in different directions. So how do we even start to make sense of it all? I guess that's where the theories come in.
Right.
Over time, people have tried to connect the dots, explain what happened. So we have all these narratives, but which one's the right one?
Okay. So let's go through them one by one.
Okay.
So the first one, maybe the simplest one, is that Karan, he just decided to disappear. Like he wanted to.
Yeah.
Like he was dealing with something personal, maybe money problems.
Right.
or a secret relationship, something
Yeah.
that made him just want to start over.
Yeah.
New life, new identity, who knows?
I mean, it's possible. And that note, that I need
Yeah.
could be like a sign that he was going through something, like a rash decision. Maybe he was writing a goodbye note or a confession. Or maybe he was trying to figure out his next move.
Right.
But here's the thing. His family, they don't buy it at all. They were like, no way Karan would just cut everyone off. Not like that.
Especially with that trip coming up. That he was so excited about.
Exactly. They said he was really close to his family and friends. So that kind of throws a wrench in the voluntary disappearance theory, doesn't it?
So if he didn't leave on his own, I mean, we're talking about something worse, like, was he taken?
Abduction, yeah, it's a strong possibility, especially when you think about those missing things.
His phone and wallet?
Yeah. I mean, was it a robbery? Did someone plan to kidnap him? And the fingerprints in the car, that really seals the deal for me. It's like, okay, someone else was definitely involved. Someone who maybe forced him to leave the car or did something to him.
And don't forget those threatening messages he was getting online. What if they weren't just some random troll?
Right. What if it was a warning? What if someone was really targeting him?
Like they were setting him up.
Yeah. And that brings us to another theory. Targeted crime. Think about it. What if those messages were just the beginning?
Right.
Did someone have a grudge against Karan? Was he involved in something dangerous without even knowing it?
Right.
Maybe he found out something he shouldn't have. Or someone wanted to make sure he kept quiet. Permanently.
It's like this tangled web. Every thread you pull, it just leads to more questions.
Yeah. And the sources we have, they don't really give us any answers. We don't know who might have wanted to hurt him.
Right. No motive.
No suspects.
It's frustrating.
It is. For everyone. The investigators, his family. I mean, we have all these puzzle pieces. Like the note, the fingerprints, the threats. But we don't know how they fit together. Like we're missing the one piece that makes everything clear.
So we have voluntary disappearance. We have abduction. We have a possible targeted crime.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other theories out there?
Well, there's one more, but it's a long shot. What about a tragic accident?
Okay, what do you mean?
What if something happened to him after he left the car? Maybe a medical emergency. Got disoriented, wandered off, got lost. I know, and it doesn't explain everything. Like, why would his things be missing, and why hasn't anyone seen him?
But it could be a possibility.
Sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one.
Right. But in this case, it doesn't seem to fit. Not completely.
No, it doesn't.
And that's why this case is so interesting. We have to consider everything, even the things that don't seem likely, until we get more information.
So what's the bottom line? Years of investigation, all of these different theories, and still we don't know what happened to Karan Singh on that June night.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I keep thinking about that note.
Me too.
That I need.
Yeah.
Those 3 words, it's like they're screaming at us, but we can't hear what they're saying.
It's like we're looking through a keyhole, but we can't see the whole picture.
Right. Was he going to confess to something? Was he making a huge decision? Or was he supposed to meet someone? What if that meeting is what holds the answers?
It drives me crazy thinking about it, all these possibilities, and that's why this case. It just grabs you. It's like a book with the last page ripped out. You want to know how it ends.
And it's not just a puzzle. This is someone's life. A family that still doesn't know what happened. I try to put myself in their shoes. Someone you love, just gone, vanished.
I know. And no answers, just questions. It's a nightmare.
It really is.
And Karan's story, it's not just a headline in the news or a podcast episode. It reminds us that these mysteries, they have real consequences. Real people are hurting.
Looking for answers. Never giving up hope, even after all these years.
Exactly.
So we've come to the end of our deep dive. What do you think? What happened to Karan? Which theory makes the most sense to you?
Yeah, let us know. What are your thoughts? Did we miss anything? Any connections?
Maybe you see something we don't. A new angle. Sometimes it's the smallest detail, something that can crack the case wide open.
Absolutely. And if you have any ideas, any theories, tell us. Let's keep this conversation going. Keep searching.
And hopefully someday, Karan's family will finally know what happened.
That would be amazing.
So thanks for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to CrimePod Castle Unsolved Mystery Series for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating mysteries.
And who knows, maybe we'll solve one together.
Until next time, stay curious.